everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist and welcome. And this is Rogue. Say hi, Rogue. Say hi. You don't want to say hi? Oh, there we go. What do you have on your mouth? Okay. I am here to talk to you about what I've been doing this week, mostly stitching, but other stuff. And Rogue wants to get off of me. Okay. No, she doesn't. She just wants to lay it down on me. So I have a finish. I finally finished this. This is Black Cat by CrossStitchingForFun. Etsy closed their shop because one of them is in Russia, the other one's in Ukraine. But anyway, you can get to, they opened a different shop and you can get to it through their Facebook page, CrossStitchingForFun. And I'm also working on, this one is close to a finish. Sorry, I don't want to dump everything. I put it on the bottom and then thought I would talk about it right away. This is also from CrossStitchingForFun. This is Be Happy. Look at the little bees that are gnomes. They made this same pattern for Valentine's Day, if you don't like bees. I am probably going to finish this month. I've almost got this flower done, and that'll make the top done except for the bee's wings on this one. This bee needs yellow and wings, or just wings. Let's see. Nope, just wings. This one needs yellow and wings. And then I have the whole bottom row to do. So this whole bottom row, including the bee. I have this one done, but not the one down here. So I'm happy with my progress. I probably would be done if I could count, but you know, we are talking about my projects. Also, I have two other type of finishes. Little foxes. I know this isn't white, but you know, artistic license. This is a pattern by Happy Berry, and she has a free tutorial on YouTube for this, and I made them for my aunt who lives in New Mexico. Her birthday is Saturday. And I only intended to make her one, but I didn't love it. You know how when you first do something, you're like, not first time crocheting, but first time, you know, making a certain pattern, especially since it was YouTube and not a written pattern. It's harder to keep up. So I made it again, and I'm happier with the second one, but I think they're both cute. And the reason I'm not happy with it has to do more with sewing the parts on than the construction of it, except for the tail. I'm like, did the tail come out right? And then I look at it later and go, oh yeah, it looks cute. So anyway. We're our worst critics. In my art classes, I always tell them, stop erasing. Your first instinct is usually the better one. So you're going to erase it and then put it right back in the same place, unless you draw what you prefer and then erase it. So we are all our own worst critics. Then, as you recall, I had a new start earlier this month. Snowed in winter. Well, since I finished the cats, I said, I got time. So I've continued to work on it. I have not added any of the sparkle and the snow past here. I gotta clip that little wing there. I had to frog something, and I didn't frog it's hard to frog when you have the sparkle stuff on it. So I put it on over. I don't stitch it at the same time. It's more work, but if I want it shiny, that's what I'm going to do. So I did not cut this thread for this tree. It's a good thing I didn't, because this was wrong, that was wrong. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I have no idea what I was doing. So I'm going to keep plugging away at this as I have time, because I have time. And another thing that I was plugging away at is Maggie May, Stacy Nash, because I really wanted that frog, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy that frog unless I actually do some decent work on this. So I may not buy the frog anyway, because I gotta stop somewhere at some point. I put, even though I stitch in hand, I normally don't use whatever these are, needle minders, but I was getting annoyed with the needle constantly not being where I wanted it to be. So I added gray. Excuse me. I wish I could just outline where the sweater went and just fill it in, but with it being a fancy floss, I pretty much have to stitch as I go. And then the color I chose for this nose part around the eye, I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't as I think it needs to be a much lighter thing than what I chose. So I have to go looking through my threads again and see what I want to put there instead. And then lastly, my goodness, we're only 10 minutes in. I am not racing, I promise. I thought I did a lot of work. Wow. Lastly, my temperature chart, Under the Sea, designed by me. And last time I had all but 3 stitches on the water up here. I had to get a new thread just for that. I'm like, oh no. I gotta find something else to use that blue on. So I put in an octopus. This is where we are. I want you to notice how cold it's been. Last week was colder. This week we had another cold day. Today it's supposed to be mid-70s, I think. Really? Cool. We're going like this. But still, I'm really happy with the way it looks so far. I had wanted to put seaweed down here, but last Friday was crazy. So we had a showing on the house, and the guy, puts in an offer. He wants to basically get the house for free. It's like, No, no. So he didn't want our counter offer, so we're not selling the house yet, but we will persevere. I do want to mention the tornadoes that have happened. I remember when I lived in Texas, and the tornado thing would go off, and it was so scary because you don't know you don't know where. You can kind of sort of know where they're going, and they're so destructive in such a quick time. It's not like a hurricane where they can pretty much track it, and you have time and you can get out of the way. It still may destroy your house, but the school that I was at didn't have a basement. You had to go across the street to the basement over there. My dorm didn't have a basement. And I grew up in New Mexico where there's no such thing as a tornado. So I was a little bit frightened by that. And so I hope you all are safe. I hope the tornado didn't destroy any of your homes. They're so destructive. And then I wanted to talk to you about market. I probably will get my market purchases later this week. And honestly, I bought too many, and I haven't bought enough, if that makes sense. I want 3 or 4 more patterns. Not because I want 3 or 4 more patterns, but because I love the designs. But if I still think about them in a month or two, they'll still be there. So I'll go ahead and get them then. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. It's like I keep telling my sister, a market exclusive doesn't mean you can only get it then. So you don't have to buy it just then. I think about the purchases that I made, and I'm like, what did I buy? I'm not really sure. Okay, if I don't remember what I got, how much do I want it? I do. But it took me a minute. I got Thai modernist crocodile. When I was in high school, I made an alligator out of plastics. I had a plastics class, a shop class. Yes, I took a shop class. That shop teacher, when you very first start a shop class, they make you take an OSHA test because they are teaching things that could be potentially a problem. And it was an open book test. Now, he lectured on it for a few days, and then there was an open book test. People failed this test. I'm like, if you weren't sure of the answer, you could just look at it. They made it as easy as possible. Anyway, I loved the class, and I made an alligator. I know an alligator and a crocodile are different, but so I got her crocodile, and I got trying to remember the name of the designer, but it's a stack with a poodle and a pug and a duck. They're all wearing hats. The poodle has a rainbow hat. Artist designs. And then from, that's being shipped to me, those are going to be at the attic. That's being shipped to me is Blue Moon, carriage, I don't know. I keep mixing it up with a different designer, so I don't want to say the wrong designer. And that is one of those patterns with the specialty threads. I'm not going to use a specialty thread. And again, another one of those patterns, Moonlit Moth. I'm not going to use those specialty threads. It'll probably be done in iridescent threads because when I saw that pattern, I was just like, that is so beautiful. Yeah. And then again, Tiny Modernist, her flamingos. I love flamingos, and I was resisting because I can't. Plants and I, house plants, outside plants, it's a death sentence for me to be in charge of them. So she had designed them as kind of like, with the little spindly legs, made out of metal, and you could poke them into a plant. And I was like, well, maybe I could adjust the pattern somehow and do something a little different. I don't know. But I loved the pattern. I loved the design. So, and she had done flamingos before, I think, that I didn't get. But I'm hoping, that I can resist other flamingos. Okay, stop sitting on my stuff. She just moved behind me and put her paw right on one of my patterns. Anyway, that is everything for today. I can't remember what I was going to say, but happy stitching. Have a great week. I hope you all stay safe. Thanks. Bye.